Greetings and welcome, I'm Dugout Man, and this is my grassroots series with Sandbach United. We thought when we started the series what we would do is look to try and take, just adjust my headphones, we decided we'd try and take a team with no reputation to the top with a manager with no reputation, and obviously we never know if that's going to happen or not, because it's very easy to get stuck in the lower leagues or get yourself sacked with a bad run of form as you progress and get to a point where you're too big for your club. So it'll be interesting to see how far we can go with Sandbach United. Now, we have a new keeper to introduce you to. His name is Ted Can, and you may have already seen that he's had an influence in one of the goals of this series, where he hoofed the ball forward and set up one of our players. I believe it was Dan Smith, but I might be wrong. But yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. He's got massive current ability and the potential to improve. So it's really good that we can introduce you to Ted Can. He's now our new first choice keeper, which won't give Deitch much encouragement. He's been playing second fiddle for so long to Naylor. We lost Naylor, so we thought maybe I'm the first choice now, and then I can't remember if I introduced you to this guy, Jamie Mellon. Again, he's had some key influences in the highlights package. He's a ball-winning midfielder, but I'm actually playing him as a deep-lying playmaker, because if you look at his key stats for the role that he's currently playing. Deep-lying playmaker. He's got a first touch of 10 and passing of 7. But he's good at tackling, his technique's got 10. And composure's 8, decision 7. Basically, he's the one player who seems to have above 6 in context of everything that he needs for the role. And we haven't got that with any other player, even Lucky Lou. Jamie Mellon would be a better ball-winning midfielder. At the moment, he's the best deep-lying playmaker that we've got. Some would say that we should try and change that role so that we can find somebody who has got a role that will do the job a little bit better. But I really like in this formation that we've got the player who sits back and sprays the ball over to the others. In fact, I've got him on support there, and actually I think he may even prefer to be a little bit more defensive. But Dan Smith already got 12 goals this season, plus 3 in the cup. That's 15 goals in 13 appearances. That is pretty spectacular. When he scores, he tends to score 2 goals in a game. So we're coming up against 1874 Northwich. We're not going to mess about with the team today, I don't think. I think everybody's... I should have checked this, really. Everybody's reasonable. Jamie Mellon actually may only play half a game because his fitness is a little bit low. But let's get into the game and see what our first game brings for us. If you haven't seen the highlights package, then you need to go back and have a look. You will see that we are currently sat second in the league, assuming other teams haven't played, second in the league with a cushion of 2 games over the team above us. And so we could easily be top of the league if we can play our catch-up games. So as we look at our team, it's Can, Baker, Taylor, Carter and Muggleton, Wicks, Mellon, Lucky Lou and Prudo, Lee Knight, Dan Smith up front. And they're playing a 4-4-2 as well. We're going to have to watch that. What we may find is that later on in the game, if it's not working, we might be able to stick an attacking midfielder into this gap. Whether that means we go 3 at the back, or there is the option, of course, to bring Knight's position back here. We would then put Berry on, who is our best attacking midfielder, and see if he can score. If we feel we need a target man, then we could always put Chandler, not the one from Friends, up into the striker role. We're just going to encourage the guys. We've got faith in them. And then we'll get into the game. Everybody's happy. Yeah, it's been a great start to the season. I was really concerned, especially with the players that we lost. As Muggleton with a free kick. It's saved by Rigby. Yeah, we had a great start to the season. Our form's been really good. We were disappointing against Bootle last time. Ironically, our strongest part of our game, which is our finishing, was what let us down, and then we just conceded a 94th minute goal to lose. But Northwich are coming forward. Cullen nearly gets fouled by Baker. Has he? Oh, he's given a penalty. Baker's conceded a penalty early doors. Baker's about the only one-star player in our team, but, I mean, that penalty was pathetic, I have to say. It wasn't us taking it, so I'm quite pleased. But thank you very much, John Seaton. I thought it was John Cena for a second. John Seaton misses the penalty, and we're 16 minutes in, and it's exciting, ecstatic, 0-0. You got to try and drum it up some way. New Mills are beating Congleton. Who would have thought it? And it looks like we're in danger again, although Baker's done well to win the ball this time. And it's a huge hoof to the opposite wing, and we're currently back in... What are we doing? We just seem to be kicking the ball into the air at the moment, and it could be our downfall. Although now Smith has broken through, and that is what most people would call Route 1. There's no other way to describe that. But Dan Smith missed. Mellon with the corner. And a good header from Smith, was it? And, you know, Northwich seem to be keeping us in our half quite a lot, and we're having to hold them up. But they look very susceptible to the break. Prudo breaks away and sends Dan Smith through. He gets another chance of a one-on-one. What a save that was from Rigby. It's another corner. Mellon to take it again. He swings it in. It's headed out. There was no one contesting it for Little there. And we move on to the next highlight. And the next highlight, again, it starts near our goal. You can tell we're at home because the floodlight's in the way. Lee Knight breaks away with it, though. It could be another counter-attack. Dan Smith, will it be third time lucky for Dan Smith? Again, the keeper makes the save, and my hands are on my head. I thought surely this time. But Mellon, with the corner, swings it in. Unchallenged, Little again, but he's headed it straight to Wicks, who crosses it in. Taylor, he's a defender, but he gets the decent crossing, but now he's out of position and we're chasing back, but Philip is all alone. He's looking very lonely. Seaton picks the ball up now. Little as could whittle away into nothing. There we go. The time is ticking away. It's looking like 0-0 at half time. We have been in complete control on the shots, but we have not been holding on to that ball. So what I'm going to say is we've been the better team here and we're doing just fine. But what I do want to do is something that I think sometimes works quite well. Is I'm going to tell him that. I'm not going to shout at him, but he didn't like that Lee Knight. He looked stressed. So what I think we'll do, we can't have somebody stressing. You know, they're not being paid much, so we don't want them stressing. What do we do though? Do you know I'm going to give James Berry a go? We said we might give something like this a go, so we'll take Knight off. Bring on Berry. He loves the attacking midfield roles. Let's see what is. So he likes to be a shadow striker as well, which wouldn't be too disappointing to give him a go at, actually. So we'll put him as a shadow striker and see whether this can change our fortunes in front of goal in this match. So Dan Smith is the technically lone striker with somebody coming just off him. Defensively, we've looked pretty solid considering they've had a lot of the ball. Smith finds Berry. Look at that, he's been on the pitch for 2 minutes and he scores from 25 yards. James Berry has given us the lead. That is 1-0. And it was a superb ball forward. Smith, turning provider, with a lovely little ball inside. Nobody closed him down. The keeper was stood in a funny position. He spotted it and slots it home. It was all about accuracy, not about power. Well done, James Berry. Good work ethic from James Berry. So we've had Baker on a yellow card. for quite some time as Dan Smith has scored his 16th goal of the season. And the goal came from nothing. I was about to say I'm talking about substitutes because Baker's been on a yellow card for most of the match since he conceded that penalty. And all of a sudden, Berry found a header to Lucky Lou, who sent the ball through to Smith. A couple of touches to get it out of his feet, and he slots it in again at the near post. That keeper does not cover his near post, and we've obviously worked that out in the second half. So, no goals in the first half, 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the second half. Maybe now it's time we have to do a little bit of defending. Northwich have got to come forward. We're currently unbalanced. We've got a right back who's chasing back on a yellow card. He doesn't make the tackle, so he hasn't got sent off. We are an hour in, which anybody who's seen me manage before, I like to make a substitution around about the hour mark. And what we're going to do is we're going to put Chandler Gibson not on left back. We'll move Jack Taylor to left back. Play Chandler Gibson as the centre back. He can play centre back or striker, and he's pretty decent at centre back. We'll see whether that improves our defence. Certainly improves our chances of keeping 11 men on the pitch. So the men in green trying to camouflage with the grass. I'll try to press forward with Ludlam and a long ball forward. Baker's still on the pitch at the moment. The substitute's not been made. And Baker has launched the ball to Dan Smith. And Dan Smith has scored. Do you know what? I used to love it when teams used to be in control of games completely. You know, the 60-70% possession. But it used to frustrate the life out of me when they just didn't get the ball into the box and score the goals. And we're playing this counter-attacking football. It's what the board have demanded. We've created a tactic with that in mind, and somehow it is just working absolutely brilliantly. And they want me to confirm the substitution that I made. Dan Smith's got his customary 2 goals as well, I've just realised. He seems to always get 2 goals when he scores. So that's probably it for him for today, but we can't sub him because there's one thing we do not want to do is upset the man because he's just so lethal in front of goal for us. So is this our customary goal conceded? No, we've managed to keep clear for now. And Gibson heads away the corner. Berry picks it up and does what we do best and launches it forward. And Dan Smith, well, I thought he dived, to be honest. I was a little bit worried he was going to get booked for diving. So we're just over 15 minutes to go. And Jamie Mellon is knackered. And we have no centre midfielders, really, to play there. We'll play Ashley Fuller as a deep line playmaker. He has no idea what he's doing, but he'll love it there. He can kick the ball long. That's all you need to do as a deep line playmaker on defence. Is pick the ball up, spray it to Dan Smith, and there's a goal. Muggleton with a corner. It's cleared away as Prudo picks up the ball, finds Berry in the middle, comes back to Carter, who launches the ball over the top. Dan Smith. It's come back to Berry, who misses an open goal. Can you believe it? Oh, that would have been sensational. It really would. As time ticks away, another 3-0 victory. It's a home victory, which is important. It was a local rival. So we'll be delighted with that result. I'm not letting my assistant manager do the talk because he's rubbish at these talks. Everybody's reacted really well, but we've got to give a special mention again and again to Dan Smith. And he looks extremely delighted. So we'll cut away to the Skelmersdale United game, and I'll keep you in touch with anything else that happens over the course of the next 3 days. I'll see you shortly. Just so that you know, we are back to the top of the league. As Avro only picked up a draw in their match with Longbridge, we've got 2 games in hand. Admittedly, Longbridge themselves could be on level points with us, because they've got a game in hand even over us. It's amazing how different it is. Some teams have played 14 games, some teams have only played 9 games. So it's going to be an interesting league when everything Constantine is back down in the played column, because if we look at it, we've got, how many is that? That's about 10 teams above us who have played more games than us, and probably the same again, a little bit more who have played the same, and a few that have played less. So yeah, in terms of the league, we're in a really good position. We've got to be really happy with the way things are going. Let's get to that Skelmersdale match. Skelmersdale, if you're interested, are in 7th. So I've decided to rotate my team just a touch for today. So this is what we're going to go with. Canning goal, Baker, Taylor, Chris Shelmuth comes in centre defence, Muggleton, Wicks on the right, White comes in as deep line playmaker. He's done okay in there. He's not a great player. He's barely even got a silver star, let alone a gold stars. Lucky Lou carries out centre mid attack. Fuller comes in on the left wing. I've given Lee Knight a little bit of a rest for today and given Chandler, not Chandler Bing, Chandler Good. Do you know what? As much as we like you as Chandler, so Chandler Bing as a deep line forward, Smith as usual as a striker. We're against Skelmersdale United. It's Sabas United versus Skelmersdale United. We are first, they are 7th. Let's get on with this. Yeah, so Skelmersdale are playing 3-2-1-2-1, or I prefer to call it a 4-2-1-2-1. I prefer to call it a 4-5-1 with attacking wingers. The first highlight, Muggleton gets a corner. Lucky Lou, I don't quite know exactly how he missed that. The keeper was already diving and somehow managed to hit the keeper and stay out of the goal. Molyneux concedes a foul. Does he know? Lucky Lou. Oh, I can't believe this. I don't know how it's happened. I don't know what's gone wrong, but Lucky Lou has somehow managed to get himself sent off. He's the captain. He's the one in charge. Right, so this is what we're going to do. It's not ideal, is it? James Berry will come on, and in the 27th minute, we're down to 10 men. And he's going to have to play, so like, as an attacking midfielder, maybe. Let's go with advanced playmaker. And I'm afraid we're going to have to lose this role. Central midfielder. He can't play defenders well, White, but he's going to have to, because basically we really are counter-attack now because we're a man down. And it seems to have killed off all possibilities of highlights. As we head to half-time, 0-0, but we're a player down and up against it. So, unlucky for them, but lucky Lou. You're getting a roasting, mate. Aggressive. Getting sent off so early was unacceptable. And he looks confused about that. So, if you guessed I'm not happy with Lucky Lou, he's messed up the whole day. The manager's having a paddy. The players are having a paddy at the manager. Brody looked offside to me. Oh, now we've given away a penalty. What are you doing? Do you know what? Before we're 1-0 down, let's see. I've got to make an angry tactic now. Out of possession. Get stuck in. You might as well. You're conceding stuff without even trying anyway, so. Oh, great save, Can. So we're still in the game, but things are really not going our way at the moment. We're going to have to go a little bit more defensive. Try and just keep ourselves in this game. And we'll change the formation if things aren't going well. The computer's bouncing around a little bit, which isn't helping matters. I don't know what to do. That send it off has really wrecked everything, hasn't it? As Pucknell picked it up, nobody's getting in there. They've got to get in their faces and stop this passing around and stuff. So, tactics. So I've put us on a much bigger intensity of pressing, but we're also defensive, and we've lowered our line a little bit to stop them getting round the back. We're going to have to start picking the ball up and spraying it out wide. I've pushed the two wingers into an attacking winger position. Muggleton gets a corner, and I'm not sure who it was who headed it, but it's a goal kick. But it's the first highlight we've had in our favour for quite some time in this game. And I think what we'll do, we'll chuck Lee White on. And is there anything else? Jamie Mellon can come on for Josh White, I think, is the best way to do this. And time's running out. We've got to go for it. We'll go attacking and not very attacking, because we know very attacking ends the game. Will there be another highlight, or is there going to be another disappointing 1-0 defeat? And the bit that hurts with that is that it's a home game. I believe we're still top of the league, but you were not good enough today. That is a sort of game we should be winning. So, while I go and lick my wounds and sulk, I'll see you in a few days. We are still top of the league, only on goal difference, and Longbridge, of course, have a game in hand over us. So, yep, we'll see you shortly. I get for the local derby against Winsford, literally just a few miles between Sandbach and Winsford. There's only one little town in between us, that's Middlewich. And we'll literally be back in about 10 seconds. So, welcome back. I'm a little bit naffed off at the team for how they did in the last match, but most of that comes down to Lucky Lou getting himself sent off and suspended. So, White is going to play the first half of this game, and then I'm going to give a young lad that I've got come through, Tom Griffiths. He's not an exceptional player. He's really slow. His physicals aren't great. He's got good free kick taking and corners and stuff like that. But as a deep line playmaker, he's natural in the position, and his higher stats do seem to be in that role. He's only 16 years old. He's Scottish. He's the Scottish Perlo. So we might give him a go as a deep line playmaker in the second half. If things are going well, if they're going really bad, then we're going to be chasing the game. I'm going to give Chandler Bing another go up front, because he didn't really get very long before having to be subbed off because of Lucky Lou. Prudo comes back in, and the defence stays the same. I've given Deitch a run out in goal as well, just so that he doesn't get too annoyed too soon at lack of football. So we're playing another United today. It's Winsford United. We are two local teams, and everybody's in good spirits, which is great to hear. Passionately, a team like ours should be winning this game, because we should. They're 16th. We're still top of the league at the moment. So hopefully we can exert our dominance on them. I've got to move it forward to attacking just for the first 25-30 minutes, see whether that gives us a little bit of dominance in the game, really, because that is what we need to be seeing. Winsford are actually having more of the possession. It is a counter-attacking tactic, but as Bailey Prudo has slotted home from a corner. Now, I haven't set any corners up, but our team actually just naturally seems to be very good at corners. That's a good header. Mellon takes a good corner. Before him, I think, I can't remember who was taking the corners before. I think it was Muggleton, actually. He was taking them really well as Smith hits the crossbar. Now, he drew a blank last match, Smith. It's probably one of the longest amount of times he's gone without a goal, 90 minutes, as he's been so good for us this season. But let's hope it's not the sign that he's dying off a little bit. Although we have sort of messed around a little bit with his partners in this this last couple of games, because we've given Chandler Bing a go. Now, Chandler Bing has not scored or created much so far, so he'll have to watch himself. But we've got to warn against complacency, I think, in a situation like this. And let's just try and give Chandler Bing a little bit of time to work to his strength. Put him as a target man. So straight away in the second half, as a highlight, Baker to Wicks. Baker, will it be a long ball forward? It will be. Launch long. Dan Smith is running on. And there it is, Dan Smith. Scoring in the way that our team really seems to love. It's amazing how many times that Alex Baker, he's only a one-star player, but he's hit it left-footed from the right side, sending Dan Smith through. And cool as you like, Dan Smith slots it home. So Muggleton with a long ball, which Smith wins a header. Prudo, Mellon, Chandler Bing, Wicks swings a ball in. Dan Smith just misses. I tell you what, we are dominant, so we need to change things. I'm only joking. It's not like things are going wrong. But what I'm going to do is, we did promise the young 16-year-old... Oh, I've done the wrong swap there. It's Josh White is the one who's coming off for Tom Griffiths. Let the 16-year-old have a little bit of a kick around. And when we get a highlight, I'll try and highlight him as well, because, you know, it's great to see one of our youngsters coming through and getting an opportunity. If he gets any, we're going to make a second sub with 65 minutes gone. Lee Knight will bring you back on. You can go back to deep line playmaker. Deep line forward, should I say. Another 10 minutes and we'll maybe make another substitution. But it seems like the highlights have dried up. We're 2-0 up. I'm happy with that. You know, you're getting 3 live comms in a row in this save, and I've really enjoyed doing it. It's good to document sometimes. Just bear with me. As well done, Deitch. Winsford did break on the counter. Then they have a corner, which I hope it means it's the end of this particular highlight. Calverley has picked it up. Hayden. I do appreciate those who have come along and watched. Most of you won't have watched it as it's come out, and you will recognise that I don't release them every day. I haven't got the time to do that as much as I'd love to. But you're getting 2 or 3 a week, which is pretty good. I'm hoping to do another save alongside this soon, so keep your eye out for that. But yeah, so I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week, and then still getting 2 or 3 videos out a week. Plus, as far as I'm aware, this is the only YouTube channel where you get to watch not just the live com games that the particular YouTuber does, but also you get to see every goal in between, so that all of them, all the goals, every game. You know, it's a big promise. It's a lot of work to do. It did shock me actually at how long it takes to edit these videos, and I don't do a massively professional job. I will get better at it as I learn more about what I'm doing. But really, what I'm saying is I hope you continue to enjoy the content that I put out. We've won 2-0 here, and I'm actually agreeing with Deacon there, so we can do that. And we'll get over to the league, just have a quick look at the league table. So, as you can see, Northwich won 3-1 at Ashton Athletic. Avro lost. They've had 2 draws and a defeat in their last 3 games that I've seen. There may have been another one since then, I'm not sure. New Mills won 5-1 against Paddyham. Where are Paddyham? There they are, 15th, which surprised me because we battered them, I think, as well. Rylands lost to Earlham. Look a bit further down. Skelmersdale lost at home to Bootle. Squires Gate got a good win, 4-0. They're a team that we obviously need to keep a little bit of an eye on. And there we are at the bottom, beating Winsford United, who are just outside the relegation zone. So with 13 games played, 29 points, we are officially top of the league. But Longbridge have 2 games in hand over us, and if they won both them games, they would be ahead of us. So we still have challenges. We're not running away with the league by any stretch of the imagination. It's very difficult when there's so many teams on different amount of games to work out who's where. But I would rather have the points in the bag than be where Longbridge are with games in hand. So we're happy with the position that we're in. In terms of schedule, I will probably look to play another 6 or 7 games, would you say? Maybe even up to 10 games. We will probably come back around about the time of the cup draw, which is unknown at the moment. Maybe we'll play Burscough because we've played them before. The cup game and Squires Gate. Or do we play Avro? Avro Levine. Do we play them? It's a home game against them. I'll make a decision bent on how the league's going. But we want to quickly get through this season. Hopefully it'll be a promoting season, but while we're in the lower leagues, we'll try and progress quite quickly. When we get into the actual football league, that is when we'll start taking more of an interest in the season itself. But really the challenge at the moment is get ourselves through these lowest divisions as quickly as possible and see whether we can get ourselves up into the English fourth tier and try and get ourselves established as a football league team. Because at the moment, it is what it is. We can't sign players on contracts. So I show you a team that we've got one week, and next week we might have lost half of them players without gaining a penny for it, which it sounds really harsh. That's where it is, and we've got to combat that. It's one of the biggest challenges in this league. But progress, we're doing really well. Thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would really encourage me, and leave me some comments too. I've had a few wonderful comments on a couple of the videos, which has been really nice, really encouraging, and it certainly has encouraged me to keep producing this video. And it'd just be great to hear from you. Any suggestions, anything you want to say, that's nice, obviously. And thinking of like the coronavirus, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you shortly for the next in this episode, which will of course be the highlights package of all the games that we don't cover. So if you see Avro in that highlights package, you'll know we're coming back for Burscough. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.